The World Cup tournament is almost upon us, and what E&T is planning for this particular issue and on this particular video is to look at the various predictions that experts from various fields would actually turn up. We've spoken to statisticians, the bookies and various other experts.
We have an economics of gambling degree course at the University of Salford, and I teach a module called Statistics for Gambling. So I teach the students about probabilities and making predictions and how casino games are sort of all edged in favour of the house. I suppose a statistician might be considered to be an applied mathematician, and then once you're a statistician you can be an applied statistician. So what I'm talking about is we sort of use data and models and combine a model with some data and then come up with predictions of the future, whereas a mathematician just sort of describes the mathematical nuances of the world. We're trying to use past information to inform future decision makers, for instance. I use a lot of programming languages, specifically something called R, which is a statistical programming language, another program called MATLAB. And you write routines to sort of import data, analyse the data, then fit a model to the data that might be quite computationally expensive. So there are some models I run that take 2 days to fit, so you leave it running overnight and you wake up in the morning and the model results are there and you're told the model fits well, the model doesn't fit well, it's either a good morning or a bad morning. They've now started to video capture football, and they have X, Y, Z coordinates of where the ball is on the field at any, I think something like 5 times a second, and X, Y coordinates of where each player is. For one game it's an incredible amount of data, and then for something like the Champions League there are companies that are doing this for all of the games, and you end up with vast amounts of data and you need a great computational capacity to be able to analyse and build models for this type of data.
Rather like a horse race, or rather like any betting event, whether it be a general election, whether it be the World Cup, there are always form lines, and that is the most important thing that a bookmaker can have in his armoury. The fact that there are these historical trends that we will always look at, recent trends that we'll look at from the season gone, and of course betting trends. Now what I mean by that is that we know historically the types of teams, the types of players who are going to be popular and attract the type of money, the levels of money, the volumes of money that will have a bearing effectively on our bottom line. When we put all of those things, all of those different elements of the equation into the mix, we then factor in the prices, and that's how we come up with a book. Only in the last 2 World Cups, 2006 and 2002, has the real technological surge really taken off. That would be through telephone betting, mobile phone betting, internet betting especially, and of course markets all across the world now, we can take bets from them. The big development, of course, is that now betting takes place 24 hours around the clock, because as we're going to sleep here in Western Europe, they're waking up on the other side of the world. They still want to have a bet on the World Cup. So here, at a place like head office, we will have traders operating all through the night, laying those bets from all around the world, and they have to be monitored. It all goes into the pot, and it adds to the bottom line if we get it right.
I think when you look at the World Cup, over the years it's been temperatures, climate have been big things that have tripped teams up in the past. Squad unity. I think the results going into the tournament you can wipe out the window, because by then you've qualified, whether you qualified strong or you didn't qualify strong. But I think that the main things are for European teams playing in the heat, and for teams that are used to playing in the heat, the fact that maybe there won't be heat to give them the advantage. As a former England under-21 international, fair few years ago now, I got used to being in a setup where you may be away for a long period of time. Sometimes boredom can be key. There's a lot of time where the lads are not playing football, not training, where they're in a hotel locked up together. So as I said before, team unity is important. preparation as well. The teams that prepare the best, that have got the best opportunities to win games of football, will therefore have the best opportunity to win games of football as well. So I think that's very key. It's just the mood around the camp. It's very important to have a good bunch of players, good bunch of lads that do get on. If you don't get on in a normal weekly game of football, it's not too much of a problem because you're away from the training grounds. They're literally going to be living in each other's pockets, so being a strong bond as a team is going to be important.
And if you want to follow E&T's panel of predictors, read our latest issue, where you can read Dr. Ian McHale's predictions in more detail and get the predictions of our other experts. Also, you can follow our panel's predictions by reading the E&T blog at www.engtechmag.wordpress.com.